is Rach and welcome back to my channel. I am helped today by the lovely James and Woody. So today I'm going to be talking to you about things not to say to someone who's had a C-section. So because April is C-section awareness month, I thought that I would do this video before April finishes. So if you're not aware, a C-section is a Cesarean delivery. It basically means that your baby, rather than being delivered vaginally, is delivered through an incision that's made on your abdomen and through your uterus, and then the baby is pulled out from your tummy that way. So there are 4 categories of Cesarean section. So just over 6 months ago, I had a category 1 emergency Cesarean section. It was obviously very much not planned. I had planned to have a vaginal delivery and laboured as such. And then unfortunately things went horribly wrong, and we ended up in theatre having a very fast section where there wasn't time to give me a spinal or anything. It was a get this baby out now, and then I was put to sleep afterwards. There wasn't even time to put me to sleep. Like in the 3 minutes that they got my son out, literally wouldn't have been enough time for the anaesthetic to work or to even get the right stuff in. So yeah, pretty stressful. But regardless of what type of section a woman's had, I think all women have been, if you've had a section, have come up against stigma and really kind of ill-informed opinions and ideas about what a Cesarean section is. It is no joke. Even if it is something you have... yeah, it's no joke, Jamesy. Even if you have planned to have a Cesarean section, you're prepared for it, you've got your date, you know you're going in, it is still major surgery, and it is not something that I've yet to meet a woman who's had one who's taken that decision lightly if they've chosen it, or, you know, and obviously a lot of women don't choose them, they're unplanned or they're emergencies. So women have Cesarean sections for all manner of reasons, which quite frankly are nobody else's business. You might think it is, but it's just not. It is between them and their doctors to make a choice that is right for that woman. When I have another child, if we choose to have another child, and if I'm fortunate enough to be able to have another child, I may well choose a section, because I nearly died giving birth and my son nearly died, and it was the single most traumatic, terrifying thing I have ever been through. And for the sake of my mental health, it may be, after counselling, I feel ready and able to try for a vaginal delivery again and have, you know, what they call a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after Cesarean section. But I may never be ready for that, and for the sake of my mental health and my husband's mental health, who had to witness what I went through and sit in a room for 20 minutes on his own wondering if his child and wife were dead or alive, for the sake of our mental health, it may be that we decide an elective section, yes, is the best thing for all of us. And if we do, that will be our choice and it will be the right one for us. So I just wanted to make this video to basically share with you some of the things that have been said about sections, some of which I have heard, some of which I have seen written on social media, and some of which have come from women in various C-section support groups that I am in. Jamesy feels quite strongly about this, I will add. Yeah, you're a C-section baby and you're awesome, aren't you, kid? Yeah. So here are things that you should never say to a woman who has had a C-section. It's not really giving birth, is it? Can't tell you how good it feels to read that. When you see that written in comment sections online, you just think, no, it's not really, no. That is James, my imaginary baby. Because having a C-section means you haven't actually given birth. James is imaginary, he doesn't have a birthday. He's not real. It's incredibly hard looking after an imaginary baby. It's a lot more work than you'd think. Had a C-section. It's not really giving birth. I therefore don't have a child. I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, C-section isn't giving birth. Please don't ever say that to a woman who's had a section. If you do, you are the worst. The literal worst. Ah, you got the easy way out. Ah, you took the easy way out. Great. Yes, because having major abdominal surgery is the easy way out. Absolutely, of course it is, yeah. You know, I just kind of thought, go all the way through labour. Oh, do you know what? Oh, pushed a bit. I don't really like it. Do you know what? Give me the easy way out, please. Lay me on a table, slice me open, literally rip through the layers with not that much working pain relief, because, you know, you're not going to be able to move your legs, and I was throwing mine around all over the place and made the doctor's job ever so difficult. My bad. Sorry, Mr. Hamoudi. Yeah, no, it was the easy way out. I loved it. I loved that I missed out on all those first precious moments. I loved that when they pulled my son out, you know, I had this vision of, oh, is it going to be a boy or a girl? We waited to find out the gender, and I had waited 8 long months suffering hyperemesis. That was the one thing I held on to, and I thought, just at that moment, when that baby's crowning and I feel like I've got nothing left to give, I'm going to find out the gender and it's going to be worth it, and that's going to push me through. But I just thought I'd give up that moment because I wanted the easy way out, and I just thought, I don't really care about finding out the gender. You know, I'd rather just say, is it dead? Is it alive? Is my baby alive? That's far more preferable and much easier. You're not really a mother. Ah, the trolls online love this one, and thankfully most of the time it is trolls. At least I hope they're trolls, otherwise, well, you know, the world makes me sad sometimes. But yeah, you're not really a mother. What is this then? Because I'm going to tell you, when he's weed all over, pooed all over, been sick all down me, screamed through the night, you know, obviously I'm not mothering. Absolutely not. You know, when I am his sole comfort, when I hold him and cradle him and feed him and rock him and soothe him, when I've protected him, kept him safe, kept him alive for a whole 6 months, gosh, not mothering. I am not a mother. Again, figment of your imagination and mine, apparently. You're not even real. All that matters is you had a healthy baby. Ah, this is a favourite. Now, I will say, I understand that this comes from a good place. I understand that this comes from a place of love, because we're fixers. We want to fix things. We want to look for the positive. We want to encourage people. We want to find the good. And I get that. And this is not a criticism of people. This is trying to raise awareness, though. It is Cesarean Section Awareness Month, and I think this is something that really does need some awareness raising. So I got this a lot after I gave birth to James. Oh, sorry, I didn't give birth to that. But I got this a lot. And it was really hard, because when we say all that matters is you had a healthy baby, or all that matters is he's okay, or all that matters, yeah, is he's safe. Where did that even go? Teething. James has just got 2 teeth. When we say all that matters, we imply that the only thing that matters is the health of the baby. Now, do not get me wrong. In those moments when it was life or death, I did not care whether I lived or died. I simply said to them, I don't care what happens to me. Get my baby out alive. Save my baby. And I meant it without a doubt, and I would do it 1,000,000 times over. I would give my life for this boy. However, having been through something like that, it is incredibly traumatic. I do have PTSD as a direct result of the trauma I went through at birth. The staff at my hospital were incredible. It is in no way their fault. We were taken such good care of. They saved my son's life. They were amazing. But the circumstances and the situation itself was incredibly traumatic. And it's going to take a bit of time until I'm well and I'm okay, and, you know, my mental health is back in the best place it can be. So when we say all that matters is baby, it actually implies that mum doesn't matter at all. And it actually implies that we haven't considered mum's health, both physical or mental, because actually a traumatic birth does things physically that are incredibly hard to recover from. Some women have life-changing injuries as a result of traumatic births and C-sections. And mentally, obviously, it can do a lot of damage, and that takes time to heal from. And that's not all that matters. it being baby, because baby needs you healthy and well. You know, James being healthy and well is one thing and is absolutely so important, but he needs a well and healthy mum as well. And actually, we both matter. So next time you're tempted to say, well, at least you had a healthy baby, or at least, you know, she is okay, just remember that mum might be smiling and going, yeah, of course, yeah. And inside they're probably screaming, what about me? I'm not okay, you know, help. Or just feeling utterly dejected and miserable, as if, you know, I've laid down my life in many cases to have this child. Quite, you know, I nearly laid down my life. You know, I laid down, was cut open from side to side, and what happened. There's a lot more that matters. The issue and unplanned / emergency sections are a lot more complicated than as long as baby's all right, everything's all right. Your body is literally designed to do this. Oh, I love this one. This is a favourite among mum groups, many of which I left after I gave birth because, yeah, it was no good for my mental health. Yeah, it's literally what your body's designed for, which implies that if you couldn't do it the natural way, then your body is a failure, and you are a big fat failure as well. Thanks. That was awesome after going through everything we went through. That's just how I wanted to feel, like a big fat failure. So let's just remember that actually our bodies may be designed to do this. This is absolutely right. You are correct. Our bodies are designed to give birth. However, things go wrong and, oh no, see, not a mum, but covered in sick. So yeah, your body was definitely designed to give birth. Of course it is. That's wonderful. Birth is an incredible, wonderful thing. However, the fact of the matter is that women giving birth naturally for many, many, many years before medical advances resulted in their deaths, and often the death of the baby as well. So the thing is, even though our bodies are designed for it, things happen. Things happen that we do not plan for, and without medical intervention, people would die. Really not cool to say that, oh, well, your body's designed for that, you should have just managed. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have just kept trying. And that leads me on to another one. If you just tried harder, you could have had a natural birth. This is twofold, because if I'd just tried harder, let me tell you now, I could not have tried harder. I went through the entirety of labour, and believe you me, I could not have given it any more. If they had let me continue to try hard, all that would have happened is James would have died. The other problem with that is the whole naturally thing. Now, do not get me wrong, a vaginal birth is absolutely natural, but can we just call it a vaginal birth? Are we afraid of this word? We don't need to imply that, you know, C-sections aren't natural. You know, we get it. It's not the way it's meant to happen. However, we don't need to feel like our children are unnatural, thanks. So can we just not be afraid of the word vagina and say vaginal birth? Speaking of vaginal births, they are better for the baby. Now, yes, this is also true. Don't say it to a C-section mum. We don't need to hear it. We are so aware of the risks. We are so aware of the benefits of a vaginal birth over a cesarean section. I am super aware of them, believe you me, because I tortured myself with them after James was born and beat myself up and felt like a terrible mum because, you know, he hadn't got all coated in the waxy correct coating, therefore he was obviously going to get diseases and whatever. Like, seriously. We did what we had to do for James to be here with us healthy and well, and quite frankly I'd rather he was alive and not born vaginally and just born by cesarean section, because, you know, he's doing pretty good. You're so lucky you didn't have to go through labour. Except for loads of women who have C-sections definitely do go through labour. We get the double whammy! We get section and we get to go through labour. How fun. Now obviously this isn't the same for everyone. Obviously, for some women, if it's a planned section, they won't labour because, quite frankly, for many women, if they need a cesarean section, it would be dangerous to labour, so they're not allowed to. And again, they're doing the best thing and being the best mother possible because they're doing the right thing for them and their baby. However, I would imagine if you've been put into a situation where you've had to make difficult choices around how the birth of your child is going to happen, I would imagine that you don't really want someone saying to you, at least you didn't have to go through labour, / saying any of the things that I've said in this video. Like, can we just be a bit more sensitive, please? Because actually, that might not have been their choice. That choice may have been taken out of their hands. And believe you me when I say, when your birth plans do not go to plan, even remotely, it is painful. and you are allowed to mourn and grieve the loss of the birth that you anticipated having, hoped would have. Yeah, it's not cool to tell women that at least, you know, they managed to get out of having a labour. And yeah, for many women who ended up having cesarean sections, they also did labour too. So please remember us, because we literally went through all of the contractions, all of the dilating, all of the really delightful stuff that is involved in giving birth, and then we had to have a cesarean section anyway. So yeah. So those are some of the things, and believe you me, that is not an exhaustive list. Those are some of the things not to say to a woman if she's had a section. How about just asking how she is? That's good enough. Just ask how she is. You know, if she needs to talk about it, let her talk about it. It may be that she wants to talk about things, or it may be that she just needs some time to heal herself. Don't put women down for the way they gave birth. You know, let's lift women up. Women who give birth vaginally are badass. Women who give birth by cesarean section are badass. Women who never give birth in their lives are badass. Women are badass, and we are all, you know, we're all amazing and we all deserve to be lifted up. So how about we support each other instead of putting each other down? It's not cool. And stop trolling online, because that sucks. So happy Cesarean Section Awareness Month. It is absolutely necessary. You might think, what a weird thing to have an awareness month for. Is that really necessary? They're a really common thing. Well, yes, they are. But the reason this month is necessary, well, there's many reasons, but certainly one of them is that we keep saying really rubbish, naff things to mums who have sections, and it's doing no one's mental health any good. So let's change that. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and if you don't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Bye!